Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD Podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the EntreMD Podcast. And as always, you are in for a treat. Now, one of the things that I believe is the greatest gift we can give the physician community is examples of what is possible. There are so many doctors who have not embraced entrepreneurship or have not up-leveled their businesses or have thought like, I cannot build a 7-figure, 8-figure business because we just don't see enough doctors doing it. And I love to showcase these examples because I know once we have enough examples, people are going to look around and say, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing the status quo anymore. Like there's so much more available. And so today I have a treat because I was hosting a live workshop and Makita, who is, the one who runs my life, I just live it. She interviewed a number of doctors from the EntreMD Business School who are killing it. And they got to share their stories in depth. There were so many things I hadn't even heard, and I was so moved by it. And if I may be honest with you, I was really moved. And I made a new commitment. Like what I've been saying, I'm going to say it louder. I'm going to say it bigger. I'm going to say it in more spaces. I'm going to support more people. I'm going to go out, I'm going to go all out even more because I saw the tangible transformation in their lives on display. And so I am going to be sharing interviews with you, and I want you to, lean in and listen and find yourself in the stories and hear about how they overcame difficulties and how you can do that too, how they dreamt up something that didn't seem impossible. They did it, and you can do that too. I want you to lean into it and just, use this episode to create a big shift, like a quantum leap in your own life and in your own business. So enjoy the episode, and I'll see you on the other side.
My name is Dr. Obidi. I'm a pediatrician, and I am the CEO of Partners in Pediatrics and Family Health. It's a family practice out in Western Maryland. And I'm also a CEO of Newborn Prep Academy, where I help new and expectant moms and recently delivered moms learn how to care for their newborns and how to release mom guilt and truly enjoy their babies, caring for them confidently. So that's another new project I have going on. And so I like I said, came into the EntreMD world about a year ago. And prior to that, I was a physician entrepreneur who had just really been recently bitten by the entrepreneurial bug and had done a little bit of coaching. So was really getting comfortable with the idea of being an entrepreneur and running my practice with a little bit more of a different mindset than just a doctor walking in the practice. So I've walked at this practice for over 17 years. I've owned it for the last 9 years now. And the first 8 years, I felt like I was just trying to swim and survive and get my head above water. And maybe like the first, I would say 6 years. And more recently started to get more warm to the idea of running the practice as a business owner. But prior to EntreMD, I really was still a I was not a confident entrepreneur. I was not a confident physician entrepreneur. So I was running my practice. I knew it was successful to some degree. I knew I was, making some money. I was able to make payroll. We were able to get through the pandemic without firing anyone or slashing hours and still made more money that year. So, but I was not confident. I was plagued with what would you call it now? Really just wasn't sure of myself, for lack of a better way of putting that, right? A lot of self-doubt, a lot of imposter syndrome, really just wasn't sure. Just felt like I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. And so, I came to the visibility formula just really to see, what it was all about. I had said to listen to Dr. Una on her podcast and really found great value in it. And what blew me apart, what just blew my mind with the visibility formula was that first couple of days and the assignments that she gave out to do. And I had, prior to that, done maybe 1 or 2 Facebook Lives, maybe done a few videos in my efforts to grow my online business. But I had never really done that confidently. And so she had said, you need to go out there, introduce yourself on your platform, tell people what you're about, what your business is about. And so I just, went ahead and did just that, right? Did the assignment. And I was blown away by the engagement by the audience, even just my practice audience on our Facebook page. And I was just surprised at how simple it was. Just go on there and say, hi, I'm Dr. Obidi. This is what I do. Thank you for being part of the practice, blah, blah, blah. And just sort of talk about the practice and what our passion is for our patients. And it was just amazing, just the engagement. And there was another assignment about really pitching yourself. And I think everyone just pitched themselves recently, right? On the EntreMD Facebook page, and I got all these invites. And there was actually a lady who I thought, okay, I'm going to approach her to get on her podcast maybe a year from now when my business has grown a little better, a little bigger. And I just went for it. And she said yes. I was like, what? So I was just so taken aback by the success from taking those small, simple steps that I knew that if this was a free program, this was what I could already benefit from just this few days, that there had to be a whole lot more in the business school, which has not failed to deliver. It's been an amazing ride so far in the business school. I think I had said yesterday, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, when Dr. Una was talking about you could pay in full and have a one-on-one session with her. Well, I was one of the people who took up that offer a year ago, and it was an amazing session. I mean, there was some advice she gave me about my business and the structure and the focus of my business that really just set me on a different path than I would have gone, or at least I wouldn't have found that path right away. And just some distractions that I just sort of took myself away from and focused on my practice. And it's been amazing. It really has been. We've grown this year revenue-wise. So the business is still growing. And not only did I join EntreMD Business, the EBS, the EntreMD Business School, but there's also a high-level program she was offering called MD Business School Scale, EBS Scale, which I took advantage of. I think it was November last year, right? October, November last year. And that in and of itself has been just an amazing experience. I mean, the whole EBS community is just hands down, just one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. And I was just thinking about just the other day in our small WhatsApp group for the EBS skill. I was just bouncing around some ideas and they were helping me workshop an idea. And I was just calculating today when I implement that in the next few weeks, that will probably, at the very least, bring in $20,000 extra dollars this year without changing anything. Mm-hmm. And all just had to do with just what I'm going to be able to do with my billing, with the services I'm already providing, which I would not have thought about, if I was not part of that group, just working on my business. So it's really been amazing. Visibility has been just incredible. I'm more confident on camera, and just being able to just sort of come on and speak without having to have all my notes super prepared. I remember that first assignment. I was thinking about this the other day. That first assignment, when she said to go and introduce yourself to your audience, I made sure everyone had left the building. It was at the end of the day, everyone had left. All the providers had left. All the MEs had left. It was completely quiet. And I, went online, did my thing, and it was amazing. And now, I just put a sticker on my door, live recording in progress, don't bother me. And business, goes on as usual during the course of the day. I was doing just because of the teaching and the discipline to show up on camera week after week after week after week. And you just get comfortable in front of one. I was doing a Facebook Live several months ago, and my kids were in the room. They would never have been in the room, me doing a Facebook Live. That would have been impossible. But they were there behind the camera, and I was doing my thing, and they started to make faces at me. So I started to laugh. It was so funny. And I called them on to come on camera and say hi to the audience. But, just again, I say all that to say it's going to be uncomfortable initially. I know for a lot of you, this may have been a big stretch this whole week, or the teachings to come on camera and to stand on a stage and to talk about your message. But embrace it. It's going to be uncomfortable, but embrace it, because it does get better. You do get more comfortable, and you get seen. We've had patients come to the practice just because of seeing my content online, which would not have been there if I hadn't attended this workshop and been part of the business school and sort of got trained to be able to speak in front of a camera and talk about my work, all right, and get to interview other guests on my Facebook Live. So it's been really an amazing experience. On a personal level, I've been able to rearrange my schedule where I'm able to get home earlier and spend more time with my family, which has just been amazing. It's been, a few weeks now since I rearranged my schedule, but that wouldn't have happened without even having that mindset, right? Because of the container I'm in right now, I'm able to look at my calendar or the situation and say, okay, instead of saying this is not possible, I'm asking, how can this be possible? Right. And so I was able to rearrange my schedule and still see the same number of patients, which I just thought was not possible prior to now. Right. My goal is to take more vacation time this year, which is already all booked out, and still make more money this year. But I wouldn't have thought that way. I'll have just thought, okay, how can I spend more time so I can make more money? Right. But so it's really been a great experience. And I know I'm rambling right now at this point, but stop me anytime. Yes, it's been, I would make that decision 1,000 times over without hesitation.
That is awesome. And we're all, Dr. Chinwe says in the comments, how can this be possible? Take more time off and still create more revenue. Congratulations. We're all rooting for you. Can we give it up for Dr. Obidi in the comments? Man, that was beautiful, wasn't it? That was so powerful. I'm so glad you shared one of the things that was so important that a lot of people deal with and is fear. A lot of people wonder, what, can I really be an entrepreneur? Can I do this? We get that question often, and you addressed it. You said that you felt like that before you entered the school. You weren't as confident in being an entrepreneur. You knew you were a great doctor, but when it came to being an entrepreneur, you weren't that confident. But being in the school gave you the tools to become so confident that, you're you're doing Facebook Lives like it's nothing, and you're seeing the fruit in your business. So that's really wonderful. You are one of the people, Dr. Obidi, if I remember correctly, that made your investment in the school before you even started.
Yeah, I think
Made
it was
your investment back. Yeah.
Yeah, I've certainly got on that path. And I definitely have. I mean, like I was saying, just one simple suggestion within the group is going to, I'm certainly going to get 20, and that's been very conservative, $20,000. I've been able to renegotiate my payer contracts. One just came through. I haven't even shared that with my ABS Guild team. If you guys are here, one came through. So I'm renegotiating my payer contracts right now, which, was something I just felt was not possible. Like, I'm a small practice. They're not going to talk to me. They're not going to even agree to renegotiate my contracts and raise my prices, my, fee schedule. But it's happening, right? At the end of the day, that's going to net me God knows how much more for the same work, right, that I'm doing. But because of the training within the school, I was able to sort of show up to the negotiation table, albeit through email, with just more confidence, right? And I think, honestly, that was probably one of the biggest things I've gained from being part of the EntreMD Business School and just the EntreMD world is appreciating what I bring to the table as a physician entrepreneur, right? Like you said, I knew I was a good physician, but I think I bought the lie, with everybody, a lot of other people, maybe a lot of you watching right now, that, I'm just a physician, but I'm not a good business person. But that's just such, that's bullcrap. Because I really, for the first time, understood how my training as a physician really prepares me to be a fantastic entrepreneur, right? I knew it prepared me to be a hard worker. I've always known, I can work hard, right? It's not a big deal to wake up at whatever time in the morning to go to the ER, see a patient, whatever, right? I knew I could work hard, but I didn't realize how transferable all the skills were in the business world as well. And I was only looking at the fact that I wasn't experienced doing it. But we weren't experienced either the first time we got to see patients, right? The first time as a medical student, you were taking history, the HPI, and coming up with an assessment and the plan and differential diagnosis. That was very messy, right? But now I'm a pediatrician. I'm sure my fellow peds people will say the same thing. I'm sure it's probably the same for a lot of other specialties, that half the time you can just look at the shift presenting complaints and you could very well just write the assessment and the plan and prescribe, and you'll be right most majority of the time, because we've done it so many times that we can just tell what the issue is, even without taking a detailed history. We still go in there and take a detailed history just in case there's something else going on. And, also just good bedside manners. But because we've done it so many times, we can do a lot of things in our, with our eyes closed and in our sleep, right? And that was just the same thing with business also. Yes, we aren't great at it initially, but because we just haven't practiced, but we have everything, it takes to really do this well. Just the tenacity and the ability to do hard things and not to be afraid, right? I know a lot of people are afraid of business, but because they just haven't set their minds to it. I mean, we're all afraid in med school initially, but we had all set our minds to be in med school. And so even though we're afraid, we still showed up and did the work. Right. And it's the same thing in business also. Like if once you've decided, okay, I'm going to do this, you're going to be afraid initially, but you're still going to show up just because of your makeup as a physician, where you're able to just step on the stage and just do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Yeah. And so that's probably one of the greatest things I have actually benefited from being part of this amazing community.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Dr. Una always says physicians make the best entrepreneurs.
100%.
Yeah, and what sets the business school apart, the EntreMD Business School, is that Dr. Una takes business principles and distills them to the physician world. It's gold. I mean, it's really wonderful. The link is in the comments, entremd.com/business, if you're even thinking about it. There are people that have already applied. There are people that have already joined the school. We have new classmates. I'm so excited for them. Some of them, yay, yeah. Some of them will get a one-on-one call with Dr. Una, and some will get a one-on-one call with me. If you're just thinking about it, I know there was a comment in the chat about what if you have a new business or some. I thought I saw something like that. What if you have a new business? just go ahead and fill the application. I'm going to call you. We're going to talk about it and we'll find the right fit for you. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Obidi. Can we just clap for him? That was so amazing and inspirational.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, Peter.
Good
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Join the school. It's not totally worth it.
Yes. That's from somebody who made their investment back in the school before he even started the school because of the things he was learning. So that's pretty amazing. And he's still, I think he's gone on to open a second location. So many wonderful things are happening since entering the school. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Obidi.
And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. And so what I want you to do now is really, I want you to take action. There's some aha moments that you got, some decisions that you made. I want you to take action on those. And I really would love for you to share this with the doctors in your life. You can take a screenshot of this, share your aha, put it on Facebook, tag us, #EntreMD. You can share it one-on-one with the physicians that you really love and say, oh my goodness, you have to listen to this episode. Why? Because we are the Calvary and together we are changing medicine. So thank you so much for listening. Share this with another doctor and I'll see you on the next episode of the EntreMD Podcast. Hey, if you love listening to the EntreMD Podcast, I want to invite you to join EntreMD On Demand. It is my signature subscription program that gives you access to a library of business courses designed to help you do one thing as a physician entrepreneur, and that is to thrive. Just head out to entremd.com/on-demand, and I'd love to have you join us. See you on the inside.